show you and Beth and even Nene how to make spätzle. I need a little flour. Even if we just do a big plate full like this, I need 2 cups of flour, 2 eggs, maybe 3 eggs, a pinch of salt, and a pot of boiling water. And I'll make sure to make spätzle. That's my staple at home. I eat spätzle in the winter time. I have spätzle 3 or 4 times a week. I get hungry, make up some spätzle. A little salt on top, maybe a little vinegar once in a while. It's amazing. Puts me right to sleep too. It's all carbohydrates. So you have a big plate of spätzle, and an hour later you're sleeping. You want to learn how to make spätzle, Beth?
Yeah.
Do you have flour?
We don't have flour.
We don't.
I can tell you we don't have flour. So, for a lot of the suggestions that we have made, they make total sense, but not here.
Right.
It's not how it's done.
Right.
And people do what they do and what they've always done.
Right.
And it amazes me that people don't understand that.
Well, even your own pasta. I'm amazed that you don't make your own pasta. Everybody buys noodles. Pasta noodles. It's so easy to make, and it's so much better for you when it's
Oh,
fresh.
what's this?
And who's this? Who's this waitress?
Bibi, Bibi, come here. Here.
Bibi?
Come here.
Did you take my order?
This is beautiful.
Yes, I can see that. That's
Can you
obvious.
see that? Look at that face.
I'm Tom. Good morning.
This is the little chatterbox that you see when Talek and her make the videos, and this silent person here who can't. Did you put it to sleep somewhere?
And so whose daughter is she?
She is Beth's brother, Tata.
Okay.
But Tata is an OFW,
Oh,
so
okay.
he's working away, and he's not going to be back for another 3 years.
Yeah.
Where's he working?
Qatar.
Wait.
It's a long
Middle East.
What does he do?
Security guard.
So that's the sign.
It's sad, but it's also pretty special because he's doing it for this young lady.
Yeah, look at the price that she's paying, but she doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
It seems a terrible price to pay for me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the coffee. Did you want coffee? Do you have more coffee? Can we get one more coffee for
No,
Rosie?
I think that
This
one.
one-
That
this
one
one
is.
is for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is for Rosie. Disregard. Wait a minute. I don't have. I have to give her a tip. I left my money in that.
That's it.
Oh, I can't. Always give a young lady. It's very hot. Be careful.
So Bibi and Talik are often with us, to the extent that people often think that they are Beth's children.
Right. There's got to be a way to fix that.
Fix.
This OFW situation, there's got to be a way to fix that. There's just got to be. One of the ways is for people that are here to stop working so cheaply. You know, there are people that are willing to do domestic work here for the equivalent of 25 pesos a day. They'll work an entire month for, what, 3,000 pesos? An entire month.
Yeah, 3,000 pesos is about right.
Right, but they have to stop doing that. They have to band together and say, no, if we're going to work this much, we're going to get this much. Or we're just not going to do it. The work's not going to get done.
All that they'll have to do is do without food.
I don't know, there's got to be a way.
When you think about it,
I mean, I think how she worked, OFW, 20 hours a day.
so, Rosie, why didn't you just say, if we're going to go on what Thomas just said, why didn't you just say, I'm not going to do it?
Well, she has to take care of her mom
What
and
would
dad.
have happened? What would happen?
I don't want to go back there. I want to stay here.
Yeah. You'd be on the street without your passport, probably, as an OFW. Did they take your passport?
They're not supposed to do that either.
No, they're not supposed to do that.
You see, but that's my point. That's where Duterte or somebody needs a kick in the butt and say, look, fine, you don't have an economy here that can support your own people, so they go abroad to work, fine. But you've got to be supportive and set the guidelines that they're going to work. You're basically putting some of your people into slavery, and that's not okay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not okay.
That's true, but you know that there are millions
Oh, I know.
of OFWs.
I know. And not just from the Philippines.
And those millions send back
Billions.
millions, yes, probably billions of dollars. They are the biggest export.
Right.
They are the biggest source of income, probably,
For the government.
that the government has.
So it would be in the government's interest to support them, to increase their wages, because the government would get more revenue.
Right, but in...
And the people that are hiring them in these Middle Eastern countries, in Kuwait and Abu Dhabi and Dubai and all these, they can afford to pay them
Of course
25% more, 30%
They
more.
can afford, and also they can afford to behave better, but they don't. So what I'm saying is that while I really, really hate the whole OFW thing, the fact is that it's not going to change. It's not going to change in a minute. It can't. And it's never changed anywhere in the world in a minute.
Well,
You think about the unions, the struggles of the unions in Britain and the struggles in America when unions came in. The rich are not going to give up their power. Not easily.
well, it breaks my heart.
Yes.
It quite frankly angers me a little bit. Like, how dare you do that?
Yeah.
You're making somebody work 20 hours a day and yelling at them
Yeah.
and taking their passport, and they're not allowed to leave their room. They can't leave the house. What have you done here? You can't do that.
But I bet when they took Rosie's passport, they were taking it because they had to register it. That would probably be the most common thing. Well, we need to just let me have your passport because we have to take it in and we'll keep it safe in there.
They are scared that maybe they run away.
That's right. That's the real reason. But that's not. They don't say, "Give me your passport. We're afraid you'll run away."
Yeah.
They're doing it for the ultimate kindness, so that it's safe and you can have it anytime you want. No, you can't. That's the.
I remember when
the
she was
issue.
getting ready to fly out, I kept asking, "Do you have your passport yet?" No, they have it. They'll give it to me with the tickets. They'll give it to me with the tickets. And up until that day that she actually was
You didn't believe
flying
it.
out, I was nervous
Yeah.
and wanting to find out, okay, where do these people live?
And she
I'm
was,
going to call my friend Donald and see if he can drop a missile on their house.
she was probably one of the lucky ones.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, the others are forced to do what they do, and they're beaten.
They are nice.
You're forever free. I promise.
Forever.
You serve one God and that's it. That's the only thing you serve. Other than that, have a good time in life.
See, the thing is that even in saying, well, President Duterte should do this or do that, even in doing that, if he were to say, right, this is the situation, you countries must do this, and these are the guidelines, they're not to work more than a 7 or 8 hour day, and they're supposed to have 1 day a week off, you know, the Sabbath, and all of that, and then in the other country, the people say, who? Duterte who? He
Somebody's
means-
got to have the cojones
Yeah.
to dry up their labor force.
Yes.
And watch how quickly
Yes.
they will respond when they actually have to work to make breakfast and they don't know how. Watch how quickly their
But
behavior will change.
they have to,
Well, somebody has to have the guts to
well,
force it.
and somebody has to feed those 4 million people, 4 million,
Yeah,
has to feed all of those people in the meantime.
right.
And how would the Philippines get along without the money? What I'm saying is it's not a simple,
No,
it's not a silver bullet, you know, you fire it and everything's fine.
I agree.
it's not.
It's not simple. The founding
But
of
it's
America
not-
wasn't simple.
No,
And people sacrificed their lives. their fortunes.
Yeah, and they're sacrificing their freedom right now.
Yeah.
You know, there are people.
Every day.
There are people online who are challenging the police because the police are actually behaving unconstitutionally and don't know the law. Like, and I watched a video the other day of a man who his mission is to make people aware of how many freedoms and liberties that they've given up in supposed protection of their safety. That's
Right.
The police are there to protect and serve. In fact, I think in LA, it's possible. I heard it said, whether it's true or not, I heard it said that they don't have to protect and serve on their cars anymore.
No, I'm sure.
Not quite sure, but when they pull you up, they can only ask certain questions and demand the answers unless they can say you committed a crime.
Right.
If you didn't commit a crime, officer, you don't have any power here. Unless, what crime did I commit? And the man that I watched said, did I commit a crime?
The only thing you're supposed to provide if you're driving is your identification,
Yes,
your registration for the vehicle, and the insurance card, and that's
Right.
it.
but you don't have to wind your window all the way down.
Correct.
And yet, they say,
And you also have to be careful. You have to realize that there are some battles worth fighting at certain times.
yeah,
If you didn't do anything, it's best to generally comply with the requests, even if they're in violation of your rights, to get yourself on your way, which is the inevitable
Well-
end game,
well,
and then back that up with evidence and a complaint. Because to have that fight there, that makes the average officer suspicious because they're not used to people
no,
pushing
that-
back.
that's
So that makes them suspicious, which gives them probable cause to go further, to search your person, to search
well,
your
it
vehicle.
doesn't, that would not be probable cause.
Well, to you and I it wouldn't,
Tom,
but that's the reason
it
they'll.
wouldn't be to refuse to wind your window down all the way, and to offer the reason for doing that is I've given you all
What I'm
of the
required to give you by
information
law.
that I'm required to give, and then he says wind your window down. It's the law, and that's not true.
Right.
So now, there is another battle that's being fought there, and these people who take it upon themselves to put themselves at risk by bringing this to light, and now through the media, through online, through YouTube, social media, they're able to bring these violations to light, and sometime in the future we'll thank them for bringing change. That will be the thing.
Well, the bigger picture is that all of what you're describing is a product of socialism.
Huh?
And that is a result of our failed quote-unquote public education system. It's a government education system that doesn't teach the Constitution.
Well, that's because it's in their interest.
Most kids that come out of
not
high
to.
school don't have a clue what's in the Constitution. Don't have a clue what their rights are or are not
Right.
when applied to real world scenarios. And that's part of the design of the socialist movement. So everything I see that's going on is the battle between socialism / communism and capitalism. And that's oversimplification,
Yes.
but it's
yes, it
also
is.
very, very accurate. That is the battle that has been going on since the beginning of time and will continue to go on.
Well,
And then we have brilliant people like AOC. Have you heard of AOC? No. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a congresswoman from New York.
Yes, it's very known in social media.
Who's a socialist. I'm sorry, the pile of rocks that we just sifted out there has got more intelligence than she does. She is so...
Americana.
Amazon was going to build its world headquarters, a new world headquarters in New York City. 25,000 jobs with starting pay of $150,000 a year.
wow.
Billions and billions of dollars in revenue coming in. 25,000 new high-paying jobs. And that new facility would have generated somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 billion in revenue for the state. In order to work a deal with Amazon to have them build there, the state agreed to $3 billion in annual tax abatements. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez went crazy and said, we shouldn't be giving Amazon $3 billion. We should be spending it on schools and on programs and blah, 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 blah. And we don't want Amazon here. And it got to the point where the public was so stupid, the people that elected her, Amazon backed out of the deal. And now a socialist liberal Democrat governor and mayor of New York City has to explain to Alexandria, we don't have $3 billion that we were giving to Amazon
We weren't giving it.
to come in.
charging.
We were giving them a little bit of a reduction and incentive in the tax rates to get them to come in, because other communities were trying to entice them to come there. So we don't have $3 billion to give away, and what you've just done is cost us in excess of $20 billion a year. So all of those programs that you say you love are now going to dry up because there's no money. And she doesn't understand that.
Should I